Welcome, everybody, to the XoneBros. This is your positive gaming and Xbox community. We're back another week. We're a few days late because, I was
Somebody had to pay the bills and work.
I was in San Francisco, baby. But I've never been to San Francisco, and it's an awesome town. Minus all the poop on the street, it's an awesome town.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
So where I was, I didn't see any of that, but it's super cool. I've genuinely never been there at all.
I think they call it the Emerald City.
Is it the Emerald City? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, I think so.
Isn't that a Sonic? Didn't Sonic the Hedgehog have an Emerald City?
It was probably based off of San Francisco.
Also, Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz did too.
Also probably based off of San Francisco.
Based off of San Francisco. They went from Kansas to San Francisco in the Wizard of Oz. I did. The more you know. I didn't know.
The more you know. Yeah, absolutely. So we're actually coming remote again this week. It's a little bit different. I know it sounds a little bit different when we're remote. Jordan the man actually has been infected with herpes of the throat.
Yep.
So
strep throat. Yeah. And I'm
Which,
contagious.
by the way,
I'm contagious until tomorrow. So
tomorrow night,
that's what
specifically,
yes,
right?
tomorrow night. Tomorrow about 6 p.m. So that's what the doctor said.
That's pretty cool that they could dial that time right in.
Yeah.
So let's actually take some super chats. Drew Stanek dropped a super chat in with the #1 foam finger. Thank you very much, Drew Stanek. Appreciate it. For everybody listening, you can come join us and become a member if you want to support the show over at YouTube, youtube.com/X1Bros. Cooper also just dropped a super chat. He's been a member for 29 months.
All right.
Come support the show. He says, "What's up, bros? What's up, Cooper? Good to see you straight out of Australia." Anyways, come support us there. In other news, if you haven't yet, leave us a review over on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you listen to us. That really helps the show. We appreciate it. And we do have a website that is down at the moment.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure it out. Basically, we talked to a guy in India who didn't know what he was talking about, and it was highly frustrating.
We're probably getting like DDoSed or something.
We'll just say that.
Yeah, it's not the going.
That's
it's DDoS today.
We're getting DDoSed.
Yeah.
DDoSed our faces off. So maybe the XoneBros.com may turn into, I don't know, 3guys.com.
Yeah, we'll see if we totally rebrand because of this. Yeah.
Maybe we might get more traffic that way.
We might just take it to OnlyFans. We'll just take this whole show over to OnlyFans.
Yeah, might be more profitable. Who knows? Depends on what we create content-wise over there.
Yeah, but if you've tried to go to the website and you're like, it's down, that's why we're dealing with.
Sorry, yeah, we're
things to get it back up. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. But it's been a big week, guys. Mountain Blade came out, actually.
Yeah.
Mountain Blade 2 on the console, and I could not be more excited. I love this game. I have it on PC. And this game, for those of you that don't know what it's like, it's unlike any other game that is out there.
Well, isn't it kind of like Chivalry?
It's I guess it's like it's Mountain Blade, in fairness. No, it's like it's different than Chivalry. So Chivalry is just you go in and it's first-person combat.
Yeah.
This has that, but then it has this Total War aspect, and then it also has this RPG Kingdom Come Deliverance aspect to it as well. So if those three games had a baby, that would be Mountain Blade Bannerlord 2. And it is fantastic. They did a pretty good job on the controller. That's always the concern. How does this port over to the controller? Because it's a PC game primarily. And they did a good job. All they did was they Destinied it. They just took your cursor and made it a mouse, and it works. Like, who knew that works? And I've jumped in. I'm excited to just start my campaign. If that appeals to you. So basically, you're a person, you decide your story, you decide your family background, and then things happen to you. But you also are controlling. There's also then this Total War view. So it's in first person when you're your person. And you're like going into towns, you're talking to people, you're building up your stats, you've got skill trees, and then it'll zoom out and you'll see a huge map, Total War style map. And you're doing strategy, you're picking up mercenaries, meeting people, building an army essentially. And you can decide where to go, where to send things, to siege a castle, not to siege a castle, to fight in the open battlefield, to not. And then when you do have those battles, it takes you back into first person, just like Total War. and you're not only commanding your army, but you're commanding your individual rider as well. So, or rider, whatever, knight, whoever you want to be that way. So it's got everything I love. Everything I love wrapped into one. Only thing it's missing is boobs.
Yeah. And
What?
Game Pass. That would have been nice too.
Did you say the only thing missing is boobs?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess that's a fair criticism. You're probably right.
Only thing that's taking it to the next level.
Yeah. And Game Pass. It's a bummer that this one didn't come to Game Pass. Would have been perfect for Game Pass. Although, let's be honest, every game would be perfect for Game Pass.
Every game is perfect. Every game is built for Game Pass.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, I really enjoy this game. I'd highly recommend everybody checking it out if you've not had a chance to see. And this kind of dropped out of nowhere this last week. So immediately downloaded it and I've been playing it ever since, baby. Well, actually I've been traveling, so I played it today.
Is it like a replayable game or is there like a linear campaign or anything?
No,
you know
I mean there is kind of a linear campaign. It's like sandbox. It's like a sandbox campaign.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
Again, just like Total War in that respect, like things will happen differently. Then you get to pick, I believe there's 6 different factions or 8 different factions as well, with then different boosts and backstories in the whole shot. So it's a really fun game.
Yeah,
cool.
I think it's only $50 too. So not too bad considering,
Not too shabby at all.
But,
can we talk real quick as well? There's a news story on Pure Xbox about the Xbox boss, Phil Spencer, saying that he's confident that the Activision Blizzard deal will be approved. And this is what he said earlier this week in an interview with Wall Street Journal Tech. He said, it might be surprising to people, but I'm not an expert on doing $70 billion deals. He says, I do know that we're very focused on getting approval in the major jurisdictions, and I'm spending a lot of time in Brussels, London, and with the FTC here in the U.S. He says, we're really focused on getting the deal approved in markets. I'm confident in that. I was just in London last week, continue to have discussions with all the regulatory boards, and remain confident that we'll get the deal approved. Can we, like this, I just want to rant, David rant here. This idea that it's not going to be approved is foolish. It's wishful thinking by haters. Honestly, it's going to be approved. A company this size does not make a deal this big unless they're sure it will be approved. Because it's a waste of time, it's a waste of publicity, it's a waste of money, and it's a lot of money. It's gonna
sure, but who is like not wanting this to go through? I mean, because
Jim Ryan.
Have you been on Twitter?
I actually don't. I'm never on Twitter.
Oh, and Sony. Sony.
Yeah,
Sony
Jim
is
Ryan's
basically Sony.
Pretty against it.
I'm against fanboy wars, but actually, let's get into one here, because this is stupid. Sony, which I guess is their business prerogative. Like if you're on the other side of this is what you do, right? But Sony's been saying like it's anti-competitive, and Microsoft's getting really good at slapping down with them in these legal briefs.
I remember this,
and slapping back hard. So there was another one that dropped this last week, where Microsoft basically said, it's not anti-competitive, and in fact, PlayStation can compete if they bring their exclusive games to their pass, and also lower the price, which they've refused to do to compete with Game Pass. It's like, yes, thank you.
Well, and not to mention, doesn't PlayStation have like a huge benefit to playing Call of Duty over on PlayStation right now? You get extra loadouts and you get like double XP just for playing on PlayStation. I think it's funny.
Well, like from my perspective, the Blizzard's had some really weird things go down in the last 5 years, like some really weird stuff.
Bro.
And you get concerned at some point whether or not the IPs are going to exist later on because of how terrible things have gone down there, and this is a move for me to make sure that the IPs that I love and that I play daily will still exist and will still be viable because of a purchase like this. So I that's why I bring that up. Like who's upset about it? Because as a person that has been a Blizzard fan for years, as far as their games go, not their other weird stuff that they've been caught doing, but I want the IPs to exist, and this is a move that makes sure that those IPs not only will exist, I feel like they will get better and more inclusive as far as not hating console players so much. Even though I play the games on both, I feel like Blizzard doesn't care about consoles as much as you think they do. You know what I mean? So a move like this, I think, helps the industry substantially
Well, Microsoft's goal is,
For gamers.
and their goal clearly is, I think, to blur the lines between the PC and the console. I think we're going to see all those Blizzard games on console. I don't think that there's any question there. I mean, they just announced Age of Empires is coming, January 2023.
Yeah.
Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition to Xbox. So
in World of Warcraft's latest update, the pre-patch for the new expansion, they added all the controller logos. Controller, not necessarily
really?
controller support, but like you can,
logos,
That's funny.
you still
Here
need
we
need
go.
to pretty much use an add-on to get it. But anyway, I mean that
Wow.
may just be for like accessibility issues, but I mean there's no downfall to World of Warcraft coming to the console, and it is possible to come to the console.
Wow, I didn't
If
think
it-
I'd ever hear that.
Okay, Jordan, if
Wow.
it came to the console, would you play it more on the console or more on the PC?
Well, okay, this is what they need to do, because don't ever underestimate Blizzard's capacity of screwing things up. So
That's a quote.
yeah. So what they need to do is, if they were to release it on console, let it all be one server, just like Final Fantasy. Let PlayStation, Xbox, and PC all play together. I think that is Elder Scrolls' biggest downfall, that they are all separate communities. They need to be all one big community. It's the best way to do it. It's the only way to do it. It's not the only way to do it, but it's the only good way to do it. So that's the first thing they need to do, is they need to bring it to, they need to make it all one community. You know what I'm saying? Like all one server, right? And then you just need to have a halfway decent controller setup, a controller UI. I mean, honestly, all I would do if I were the designers is just steal the one from Final Fantasy. It's not like the greatest controller UI, but it's functional and it's good.
I agree, Jordan.
Yeah.
What? Oh, sorry.
What bugs me? No, this is not related necessarily. Speaking of like stealing a good controller setup, I get bugged when games try to reinvent the controller setup that we've all played 1,000 times with like first-person shooters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you have to hold like certain X does not reload. You know, X is always a reload button for me. It's
In
always
this
been.
game, right trigger doesn't shoot. We've decided to shoot with the right bumper.
That's a pet peeve of mine when they do that. But it's a lot less important when you have a mapping system set up like PlayStation and Xbox has. Although the Switch doesn't have that. So when those games go to Switch and you try to play those games on Switch, you're kind of out of luck.
Yeah, Jordan T-Bucks asks, what about the massive hotbars that World of Warcraft has? How would that be handled?
Well, I mean, they just introduced the new UI stuff in their latest update, right? So you can resize all those. I mean, you can make it work on the console. Like I said, all you have to do is just take it from Final Fantasy. So what Final Fantasy does is basically you have like the D-pad keys, you have right trigger, left trigger, and then you have like the face buttons. And essentially you have those layered on top of each other. So like you would hold left trigger and you'd have 10 buttons, right? And then you'd let go left trigger, you'd have another 10 buttons, right? Like, so it's possible. But yeah, like I said, WoW just came out in their latest update with their UI revamp, so you can now customize the UI. You can make the hotbars as big and small as you want.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Speaking of that, since we're on Blizzard, how has Overwatch been treating you guys? Still happening? Still well balanced? Good?
Yeah, I'm having a good time, which is awesome. I think the game is in a decent place. I know that they're coming out with some nerfs for a bunch of characters. It's a difficult thing that Blizzard has to do, because generally they have, as far as balance goes, they have always, I feel like they've taken the stance to balance the game from top to bottom, meaning they balance the game for pro players, and then we have to deal with the us peasants that aren't nearly as good as some of the players out there, have to deal with the pieces as far as balance goes when some players are super overpowered and lower leagues. I'll give you an example. When you're in Bronze League, back in Overwatch 1, Bastion was extremely overpowered, but in the higher, I would say gold and above, he's not, because everybody just shoots him. So
do you remember those tweets during Overwatch 1?
Yeah,
where people were complaining about Bastion, and the developers were like, "Oh yeah, just try going to the left."
Yeah. So as far as the gameplay goes and the balance, I think it's in a good place. They're coming out with some nerfs that may be interesting, but but I'm not necessarily a fan of kind of the battle pass. It's okay. It's not like other games out there where you have a plethora of content. I would say it's better than Halo's for sure.
Yeah.
One of the frustrating things is how expensive things are on the store, and you really can't. Another frustrating thing is in other games, like let's take Fortnite for example. As you play the battle pass, you get V-Bucks, which is the currency, to buy certain things. They don't have that in Overwatch at all. You can earn currency through weeklies, but it's so minuscule. You get a maximum of 60 coins, which is 60 cents for if you were to play probably like I would say 15 plus hours, you could achieve those numbers. So you get 60 cents per 15 hours of play, which is not good at all. So you're forced to, it's a very Blizzard move. You're forced to purchase some of the skins you want on the store. And I would say a lot of the stuff you can purchase was already in Overwatch 1. So it's kind of in a weird place. But I don't know if I necessarily care because I enjoy the game so much. It's kind of like that. I think I'm still on the honeymoon phase of this 1.1 patch. It's not Overwatch 2 at all. Of the, I'm just enjoying all the new kits, the 5 player teams instead of the 6. All that stuff has put the game, I think, in a really fun place. The new game mode that they have where you have a robot push, it's like a tug of war push to each side of the map, is probably one of my favorite PvP game types I've played in a long time. I think it's extremely fun. So, David, I know this is a really long answer to your question. I really like it. I've played the game as much as I can with how much time I have allotted to me to play games these last couple weeks, and I'm really enjoying it. So it's definitely not perfect, and it's kind of a meme that it's an Overwatch 1.1. They gave us 3 new characters and they took 2 away. So it's like, oh, okay. The new maps are just day-night cycles of previous maps. They have a couple new ones. So it's kind of weird in the fact that it's not necessarily, we were joking when they announced it 2 years ago that it's not really a sequel to the game. It's just like I would say it's a patch. It's not even a DLC. It's just like a patch.
It's a big patch.
But it's such a fun game that I'm still in the honeymoon phase. I just love the game. So I let things slide, and maybe in a month or so I'll be more upset, but I just enjoy playing that game. So that was a long answer, David. Sorry, but I like the game. Jordan, what do you think?
Yeah, I like the game too for everything you just said. I think it's really fun.
Jordan's answer is ditto.
Yeah.
Although the ranking system is pretty funny. Oh man. Yeah. There are pros that are getting placed in gold. There are people like Jordan that are getting placed lower than we expected. That makes me laugh.
And it's like, okay. That was odd.
It's pretty fun. And then when we play together, it's fun to be in those lower leagues because you question certain decisions people make. So that's funny. David, you should get into the game. It's a great game.
It's if you're looking to get into Overwatch,
I have it downloaded. I just
it's in a really good spot right now, hero wise. Even with some of the nerfs they have coming out, I still think it keeps it in a really good spot. Between
Dreamlight Valley and now Mountain Blade.
Yeah.
That badass game, Dreamlight Valley, just so good, right?
Dude, I've unlocked another area. I'm leveling up Merlin to level 8 now. I've almost got him maxed out. It's great, which is going to unlock new areas for me. I can't wait.
I know you're in a good spot too in that game.
Blake, Jordan, maybe this is for you. Blake drops a super chat. He's been a member for 27 months at Tier 5 Master Chief. Thank you very much, Blake. He says Tiny Tina's is awesome. More people should be playing and talking about this game. I cast magic missiles, he says.
Tiny Tina's is a good game.
That's awesome.
Really
they
fun,
have magic missiles in that. That's good.
Yeah, it's a really fun game. It's basically, for those that don't know, it's a Borderlands game, but it's basically the character Tiny Tina who takes you through a Dungeons and Dragons style game. Like, it's still a first person shooter, but like you can hear narration and they do a lot of Dungeons and Dragons tropes, if you will. But it's really fun. I actually think it's one of the best Borderlands games that is out. I think I would say it's
compared
better
to
than
3.
Yeah, I think it's good.
As good or better than 3? What were you saying it's better than?
I think it's better than all of them, to be honest with you. I actually think
Wow.
I think it's probably the best Borderlands game that has come out. It's really well done.
Why? What makes it so good? Just the Dungeons and Dragons aspect of it?
Well, yeah, that's the fun
really
part of the
well, or
story,
what?
but I really like the way they do their grenades, I guess. So in the old Borderlands games, you had grenades that you would throw and they would do different things. Some grenades would heal, some would do whatever. But I think I just like they've basically replaced grenades with spells. So it's still a grenade, but it's a spell now. So you have, I guess, a little bit more freedom with it. But I just like that I like the setting of Dungeons and Dragons. I feel like it's a little bit more role play because you got gear with stats on it. I really like the new quote unquote grenade system, which is your spells. And I don't know. I think overall it's just a really good setting. And I think it fits Borderlands really well.
I think the skill tree is better than Borderlands.
Yeah. They're not tied. Well, I shouldn't say tied down, but you're not tied down to like the classes that we're used to. Like, not to say like sirens or gunzerkers or anything are bad, but it's nice that the classes are, to an extent. I mean, some are similar. Obviously, you can see where they recycled a little bit, but for the most part, it's a fresh new take on, and maybe that's why I like it so much. Is because it's a fresh new take on the genre. So I don't know if maybe saying it's the best Borderlands is the right thing to say, but the reason I like it so much is the fact that it's a fresh take on the genre, and it's really good.
Yeah, I heard that some players don't like it if you're like some traditional Borderlands players would be thrown from it, maybe.
Yeah, because it's different. I mean, they have this thing called the Overworld, which is basically the tabletop, because you're in Dungeons and Dragons. But yeah, I mean, it's different. But I mean, for me, like I said, it's a fresh new take that I really enjoy.
Yeah. Before we jump into, I do have to say, so I was out of town. I have to share this with you guys. If we had a pre-show when we're remote, it's hard for us to do a pre-show, so we don't do a pre-show when we're remote. We'll have a pre-show next week again, everybody. Apologies for that, but I have to show you. So last year, I won my company's Halloween contest.
Oh, nice. Wait, who did you dress up as last year?
I was a bubble bath, if you remember.
Yeah, okay.
I do remember that,
yeah. So this year the stakes were high. It happened again this weekend, and I won again. That's back to back, baby.
Wow.
And I thought,
you just wanted to toot your horn?
Well, I want to share my costume with you guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you're this. Oh man, David, I want you to describe what we're seeing to those listeners.
Yeah. So I went as let me full screen this. I went as Ariel. And I have red hair. Got a little 5 o'clock shadow and the seashells. Let me tell you, I've got huge seashells.
Yeah.
This was like a out of the park grand slam home run. Basically, I stepped up to the plate, and the judges immediately declared me the winner.
You know why as soon as you got there, they already wrote it down. It was
David. You know why mermaids wear seashells, right? No. Because B shells are too small and D shells are too big. But I'm ching.
Oh, he's stealing that. Wait, can you say it one more time?
Yeah. So like the whole joke or just the punchline?
No, just the punchline.
Because B shells are too small and D shells are too big.
B shells are too small.
That's why they wear seashells.
Okay, got it. I'm using that tomorrow.
That's one of my greatest jokes. You can have it on the house.
Using it tomorrow, baby. Using it tomorrow. Anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys. So I've told everybody I'm going for 3 years in a row. # Dynasty, and then I'll retire.
That's good. Okay, go for it. Do you know what you're gonna? I guess you can't say publicly.
No, I don't know. This one, because you got to one up it every time. Like the bubble bath was solid, and so I was going through like having these thoughts, like maybe I do bubble bath again. But this time I'll press a button and water will pour on me or something.
With those shells that you had, did you cut them out of like paper and draw with a marker?
It was actually a family project. My kids and my wife put those together.
Oh man.
So yeah.
That's scary. Everybody listening, come check that out. That's
you gotta come see that. And everybody in chat, if you like the seashells, if you like the size of those seashells, hit the like button. That really helps this video. Smash that like button right now.
Oh my
You like
gosh.
what you see there.
I'm glad I wasn't drinking my drink when you put that on the screen.
Jordan the man. So last week we talked about you got early access to the single player Call of Duty.
Yes.
We now are into multiplayer this week.
Yes.
Give it to us straight. Give us the straight crack.
Okay.
How is it?
I really like it a lot. I like a lot of the changes they've made. So for starters, it's still a Call of Duty game, right? So there's not any like crazy drastic changes. Like it still feels like Call of Duty. So if that's not your thing, then this probably won't change your mind. But I'm always a sucker for the modern setting. I think Modern Warfare is like, I mean, same with Battlefield, but I don't know. It fits. You know what I mean? Ever since Call of Duty, what was it, 4? The first Modern Warfare, it makes sense. But no,
having a red dot sight in World War II doesn't make sense.
No, yeah, that didn't make any sense at all. And I get that you could say like, oh, it was in a different universe, but was it really? You know, if it was in a different universe, you should have leaned into like the Wolfenstein stuff, right? But I don't think it was. I think they just
can get away with that. That's a good point. Wolfenstein could get away with that. Battlefield cannot.
Well, let's just talk about that. Call of Duty Vanguard, right? I know it was still a very popular game because Call of Duty games always are, but it didn't jive with me. Like, I played Cold War. I'll be honest, I skipped over Vanguard because I didn't want to play modern.
You tried it out though.
No, I had no desire to try Modern Warfare with a World War II skin. Like, if I want to play a World War II game, I'm playing because of the setting. You know what I mean? And if I can put a laser sight on a M1 Garand. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make any sense.
Also, and I know this isn't World War II. Hell Let Loose is World War I, right?
It's 1 or 2.
Anyways, but like there's so many. But if you want to go back, there's so many games doing it really, really well.
Yeah.
That's not really like it's a little bit out of Call of Duty's niche. They're like the most popular, one of the most biggest games in the world. So, but you know what I mean? Like it's just a little bit out of their wheelhouse, right? A little bit out of their lane. I feel like, especially with all the competition that's out there.
Well,
surrounding World War II, World War I style games.
Well, I think they can do it. I mean, Call of Duty originated World War II. Like that was their original setting.
They had World at War, which was the first zombies.
Yeah, which was really good. Which was the first zombies. Which I don't know. I guess it's weird. Like I guess I could. I don't know. Like, I guess it's just weird. For some reason, it just didn't appeal to me to play a Modern Warfare skin of World War II, even though there's like zombies and stuff in it. And yes, I'm fine with all those game modes, but maybe it's because those are a different universe. I don't know. I feel like if they were going to lean into that kind of stuff, they should have like went full Wolfenstein with it. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, I agree. I completely agree with you.
I don't know. It just... Like, and if you look at the gunsmith in Vanguard, and I got nothing against Vanguard. I know a lot of people had fun with it, and even some people in chat are saying that it was really fun gameplay wise. And I do like Treyarch as a developer. I like both Treyarch and Infinity Ward. I'll be honest, Sledgehammer has yet to impress me, but you know.
So, but the thing is, though, saying that Call of Duty started with World War II, was it multi? Did they have multiplayer when it started?
Yeah.
And but it wasn't Call of Duty that we know today. Like
Call of Duty 4 right? Modern Warfare is like what changed.
Yeah, Modern Warfare is what changed everything. So it's not like, yes, that's where their roots are, but their roots are actually Modern Warfare.
But even if you take a game like a World at War, which came right after Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the original, that was still a good game. And yes, I guess they did have like scopes in the game, but they were I don't know. I don't know.
What is the worst Call of Duty game since Modern Warfare?
I would say World at War. The one Jordan said was still a decent game. I
thought it was okay.
That was my least favorite. The reason I thought it was my least favorite, because the hacking at that point was really like their maps weren't fully developed, and so people would not necessarily hacking, but people would easily go under the maps. And it just ruined the entire experience gameplay wise. And they did not have that as a priority to fix. Maybe because it was, what was that, 2011 or something like that? Whenever that was. Maybe it was just harder to get patches.
World at War is 2008.
2008. Yeah. Okay. So maybe it was. I know that they could they patch? They could patch, but maybe. Yeah, they could patch because that's why I was annoyed with it because they wouldn't fix the maps and it made it for the first month very, very, very difficult to play multiplayer when every time you go into a map, someone's under the level shooting and you can't see them and you just keep dying.
Maybe I'm just thinking of the campaign and zombies then.
Campaign was okay. Yeah,
campaign was good.
You had to beat the campaign to play zombies.
To get zombies, yeah.
So on the Call of Duty Wikipedia.
I can tell you which one is the worst.
It has all of them listed, and then it has the Metacritics, which is fascinating to look at.
Is it Ghosts?
Ghosts, which if you remember, Ghosts is pretty low, and then Vanguard. I think Vanguard is lower than nope, Ghost is lower than Vanguard, but just barely. And if you remember, Ghost came out the beginning of Xbox One, so it was kind of stuck in no man's land. It was
I think it went up against Titanfall too.
It was a launch title.
I don't know. I think it went up against Titanfall. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it wasn't. No, I don't think it was a launch title.
It was launch because Titanfall wasn't until March.
Yeah.
And this was November, so it was a launch title.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
I am right.
But they did take a lot of pictures of a real SEAL Team dog.
That's right.
You remember that?
Right.
I remember that. That was really cool. Yeah.
So the highest rated one,
and they had fish AI.
The highest rated one, what would you guys suspect? Modern Warfare?
I bet you it's Modern Warfare.
I would say Modern Warfare 2.
2, yeah.
The Call of Duty, is that Call of Duty 6?
And that's when they stopped using numbers.
Yeah.
So it was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, then it was Call of Duty World at War, then it was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
I would say 2 is the most. And the reason I would say that is because that was. People played that game more than any other that was the Call of Duty.
Yeah.
When it perfected their formula at the time. It took everything from the first Modern Warfare and just perfected it on top of a solid campaign.
Its Metacritic score is a 94.
So am I right?
Yeah, you guys are right. It's the only Call of Duty to Metacritic in the 90s. No other Call of Duty got in the 90s. Okay. So Modern Warfare 2, obvious, even I played hours and hours and hours and hours of that game, right? What do you think is the next best one? Next highest rated Metacritic outside of Modern Warfare 2?
Modern Warfare 1?
So I would disagree. I think I would say it's oh man, what Black Ops 2 or 3? I would say Black Ops.
Oh, you're right.
2?
I forget all about the Black Ops series. Those were
I would say
good.
Black Ops 2 is what I would say.
Those are Treyarch's games.
So wait, are we counting remastered Call of Duty Modern Warfare? Because that would be the next one. Because we're gonna not count that one though, because that's cheating. So the next highest rated Metacritic one is
Black Ops 2.
Oh, actually no, it is Modern Warfare 3 by 1 point.
Really?
88 for Modern Warfare 3.
That's where I fell off.
OG Black Ops is an 87.
What's Black Ops 2?
Maybe it's Black Ops.
But look at that's in a row. So look at that. That's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2009, 2. Modern Warfare 2, 94. Call of Duty Black Ops 2010, 87. Modern Warfare 3, 2011, 88. Black Ops, and then Black Ops 2 right after that. And then Ghosts.
They don't make games like they used to, huh?
And then Advanced Warfare.
True.
And then from there,
that was the Kevin Spacey one. That was a shame, wasn't it?
From there, it's
yeah.
From there, it's kind of a gradual downhill. Like you never quite reach those 3 years again. And then Vanguard is one of the lowest in the 70s.
Oh yeah, hey, T-Bucks actually makes a good point. What was the futuristic Jon Snow one? How did that one do? I think that was after Kevin Spacey, wasn't it?
Yes, I know exactly. Is that Advanced Warfare, right?
No, Advanced Warfare is Kevin Spacey.
So after that, it was
and then when's Jon Snow?
Black Ops 3. Was that Jon Snow?
No, Black Ops 3 was the no campaign. That's when they introduced Blackout.
There was Infinite Warfare.
Yes.
There it is, Infinite Warfare. That's it. Yeah, Infinite Warfare.
Infinite Warfare is also pretty low.
That's a shame. I like Jon Snow.
But the multiplayer in Infinite Warfare was like very different because you had
Because you had Jon Snow,
where you could just like in the air fly around, kind of. You know what I'm talking about? You had like the dodging
well, remember
mechanic.
ever since Titanfall, there was that like surge of futuristic games. You know, like everyone went movement based and stuff. But
And
coming
this
to
is fun.
modern day, Call of Duty 2022 is what we're gonna call it.
2022 too.
Yeah, because it's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 2022. Anyway, multiplayer wise, it's really good. They kind of, I wouldn't say revamped completely, but they changed around their progression system, which, you know, maybe some hardcore Call of Duty fans won't like it, but I really like it. Basically, what you do is instead of, you know how you would you have your overall level, like 1 to I think it's like 55 in this game, and then as you rank up levels, you'll unlock guns. So you still unlock certain things when you level up, like perks and different things like that. But the way you unlock guns is by using guns. So for example, there's kind of like a gun tree. So if you level up the M4, for example, one of the first guns you have, if you level it up to level, I don't know the numbers exactly, like 11, you'll unlock a submachine gun or a light machine gun, and then a different type of gun. And then as you level those guns up, you'll unlock another gun and another gun. So it's kind of like a weapon tree, if that makes sense, of unlocks, which I feel like I've said this a lot tonight, but I feel like it's kind of a fresh take on their progression, and I really enjoy it. It's making me use different guns, which I know can be frustrating to some. So I get the criticism of you find your favorite gun and you just want to use it, but I enjoy the variety of using different guns to unlock other guns.
Well, no, that's the carrot on the stick, right? That Battlefield did that in Battlefield. I think they started doing that in Battlefield 3. I can't remember, where you had to play certain guns to unlock certain guns as well. I don't mind that necessarily, as long as I'm allotted a gun that I enjoy for the first 15 hours of gameplay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they got I think the starter weapon, a lot of them are unlocked to you from the beginning, but I think I know from the M4 tree, which is the one I'm looking at, or the M1A, your basic M16, right? Or the usual assault rifle. I think, I don't know,
M1A4.
Yeah, that one, right? The M1 or whatever they call it. I know when you get to certain levels on that, it branches off and you get like a light machine gun and you get a different type of gun. But anyway, I really like it a lot. The one thing I really like, and I hope they keep this going forward, again, maybe hardcore Call of Duty fans won't like it, but I'm enjoying it, is the new perk system. So everybody knows what the perks are in Call of Duty. You pick perks like Scavenger and Ghost, and you use them. So a perk like Scavenger, you run over dead bodies, it picks up ammo for you. A perk like Ghost you don't show up on UAV, or is that Cold Blood? Whatever. It's one of the ones where you can't hear footsteps, or you don't show up on UAV. I think it's Cold Blooded that you don't show up on UAV. What I really like is the way you do your perks now is how do you explain it? They're kind of like, they're in tiers, if that makes sense. So you go to your perk section and you have 2 base perks that you always start the match with. And they're usually the lower end perks like Scavenger and Battle Hardened, right? And then during the match, you will unlock your other perks. And I think it's a time thing. So like 2 minutes into the match, you unlock your 3rd perk, and then another so many minutes into the match, you unlock your 4th perk. Those 2 higher perks get better. So, for example, your Cold Blooded and your Ghost are your top tier perk. So you don't get all your perks to start out with. You have to unlock them during the match, and they auto unlock with the timer. But what's really cool about it is every kill or assist that you get shortens that timer. So you are actually rewarded for playing well, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I really like it a lot. I think it's a really cool way to do perks. It's what it does is I feel like it almost changes the dynamic of early game to late game, which is really fun because you probably play differently from when you have a perk like Ghost or Cold Blooded to having them. You know what I mean? Yeah. So anyway, I really like the way they do the perks. I really like their weapon trees. The multiplayer is fun. The what is it? The TTK, time to kill. Very short.
Yeah, that's what
very short. Yeah. Whether you think that's a good thing or bad, it's a good thing for me because I just gotta hit him with like 1 or 2 bullets. Aim's not an issue. I just gotta spray. Time to kill is really short, but No, so far so good. I'm really enjoying it. There's one thing that I think is the best way to say it is it's god awful, and that's the menu. The main menu is terrible, and I don't even feel bad being mean about it. I don't know how they were testing that menu for the 2 years this thing was in development and thought to themselves, yeah, this is good, let's send it out. Like, the menu is it is the worst. You guys thought Battlefield 2042's menu was terrible. It
was bad.
They at least fixed theirs. This is worse than the original one. Like, this is terrible. Let me set the stage for you guys. The menu, from what I've looked up, was created by developers of the Hulu menu.
Oh,
Yeah, it is not like
not good.
It is not
good.
It was so bad that you actually IMDb'd whoever.
Yeah, who made this menu? This is terrible. And then you find out like it's made by the guys that did Hulu. Who had that bright idea? And look, nothing against them. I'm sure they're doing their best. But I don't get how you were looking at this menu and thinking, "Oh, that's fantastic. 4 or 5 menus deep to invite your friends. Send it out. It's great." Let's add. It's just. Yeah. Okay.
That's
so like,
funny that this is the pet peeve. Yeah, but I get it.
The menu system is like, it makes me angry thinking about it because it's so terrible. If you watch like Call of Duty YouTubers, all of them start out with this in their video. They're like, "Hey, you know, this is the new perk system. I'm actually or this is the new gunsmith system. I'm gonna explain how to get it." Usually I don't do this, but it's been so confusing because it is. Like, how do you have a bullet point feature of your game buried behind menus? Like, it's so bad. It's bad. The only redeeming feature is when you hover over like a game mode icon, there's like cool artwork that shows up in the background. But honestly, I would give that up because the menu is it's bad. I highly doubt they will update it and make it better because, let's be honest, it's Call of Duty and Activision. But I think that should be top of their list.
The UI should be top of the list.
No, it is terrible. I feel bad ranting about it because, you know, someone sat down and created it, but it's just not good. And then I found out it was from the Hulu guys, and it was like, oh, like it's not good.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I've never been this.
It's so bad that you looked up who developed the UI.
You look at their like history, their like work history, their portfolio. Oh, this is the guy that did the Hulu menu. No wonder it sucks.
Oh, it's so. Well, just imagine Hulu. That's what it is in a video game.
Yeah, that's funny.
Okay, let me give you guys some advice. I'm gonna give some solid advice to every developer out there. You can think I'm a jerk or whatever. When you're developing a game on a console, don't ever do sideways menu. That's super stupid. Don't ever do sideways menus. Do vertical menus. Way better. Mark, you do graphic design. Sideways menus in a video game or vertical menus?
No, I mean, there's a reason. Websites, for example, generally you can do side, but I would say 98% of websites are all drop down, top down stuff.
Yeah,
because I mean, it makes sense. So.
Well, just free tip of the day: don't do horizontal menus. Do vertical menus. When you make a list, do you make it sideways? No, you make it vertical because it's a lit. Like,
that's funny.
Yeah, it's like I want you guys to buy the game just to experience what I had to go through.
Well, I want to go watch some like blind playthroughs where people are all like, "Where the hell is this?"
They're like, "What the hell is this?" There's other little things that they do that are just like so dumb. Like, for example, you know how Call of Duty has the like you have the weapon XP for buying Mountain Dew and stuff like that, you know?
Yes.
And then they have it in their battle pass. They don't show you the timer anymore, which I actually think is this is my conspiracy theory. I think it's a trick to get you to hit more than one at the same time. So you know how you hit double weapon XP token?
Yeah. Okay.
And then in the top left or right, it'll say you got 30 minutes. And you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Yes.
They don't show you that timer anymore.
Oh, yeah. Well, a couple of games have done that, and it's super frustrating.
When you're like, well, wait a minute, do I need to go now? Like, it's, yeah.
And then you never know if it's gameplay 30 minutes or if it's from starting now 30 minutes, so you have to queue up as fast as possible.
I will say this, at least Call of Duty says real time, not gameplay time. But the thing is, they don't show you the timer, so you're like, okay, I think it's been 30 minutes. Let me hit and waste another one.
Yeah, that's
So.
funny. Hey, that's probably why they do that. That's,
I know. So you
that's
buy
very
more.
Activision.
Yeah.
It's very,
Anyway, I think the game is really solid. Even in multiplayer, I said this during the campaign, the gunplay feels really good. Gunplay still feels good in multiplayer. The only thing holding this game back, honestly, like I don't even care about the disconnection bugs. I think their menu is that bad.
That's what's holding it back is the UI.
I think, there's disconnections on PC and stuff like that, and playing with some PC friends because I'm playing from Xbox. We did have a few of those disconnections on their end the other night, but the menu is just so bad. It's like my number one please fixed.
Yeah, that's funny.
Well,
and that's those are my first impressions. Good, except the menu.
well, there you go. Good except for menu. Let me ask you this. So I was looking at Metacritic right here. You get one guess. What is the top Xbox Series X rated game on Metacritic of all time?
Witcher 3.
All time.
Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna go Witcher 3.
Ooh.
Although that wasn't Series X, was it? That was regular.
Yeah, no, I'll give you another chance, Jordan.
Okay. Well, the Series X only came out like what, last year? 2 years ago?
Spicy's is a solid guess. I will not say whether right or wrong until after.
Oh, Horizon. Cooper in chat says Horizon 5. That's a good guess too. I would say.
I'm gonna go with Horizon 5.
Okay,
because I know it's not Halo.
Elden Ring.
Oh,
okay.
Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of thought this was like you said specifically the series.
But okay, if we're going
X.
exclusive,
Yeah.
Horizon 5 is exclusive. Would
Top?
be the winner. Number 2 would be Flight Simulator.
Okay.
But if we're all games, it's Elden Ring, Persona 5 Royale, which just came out, which I may jump into. Everybody talks about that. Might as well. It's one of an all-time great. Hades, number 3.
I've heard a lot of good things about that game.
Stanley
actually.
Parable.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
Ultra
That, okay.
Deluxe. And then Forza Horizon 5 is your top 5. Microsoft Flight Simulator comes in at 7. And surprisingly, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 comes in at number 10. Deathloop at number 9.
Deathloop's on there. Wow. I mean,
Hey,
that's a good game. That's a great game. Wow, David, while Jordan was going off on the UI, were you just looking up Metacritic
I was like,
stuff?
oh, this is interesting. No, it's just there on their side, and I was like, oh, that's fascinating. Fascinating.
Oh, that's cool.
UIs are like haircuts. No one notices if you have a good one, but they definitely notice when you have a bad one.
That's kind of like when you have a good one, it's kind of taken for granted. You just think,
exactly.
Oh,
Exactly. Yeah.
good looking guy, nice set of hair. But when it's bad, it's like, oh,
yeah.
Don't mention his head.
don't talk about his hair.
No, but like for example, Mark, if there was a Call of Duty that would get you back into Call of Duty, maybe not like you were back in the heyday, I think it would be this one.
That's cool. Well, so with my limited time, I don't have time to actually play the game, but I have been watching like a blind playthrough of the game from a Let's Play on YouTube of the campaign. Yeah. I have seen a lot of multiplayer as well, and the campaign looks pretty decent. Like I feel like I'm watching an episode of 24.
Yeah, I mean typical Call of Duty campaign. No, the campaign's really good. I like it a lot. Like I was saying last week, I don't think Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2022 campaign is as good as 2019's campaign, but it's still good and fun.
It's decent. I feel like I'm watching a series because I don't even have to use the controller. And they have good voice acting and the story's pretty good so far. And
what I'm really excited for, which I don't think we'll talk about this week, but we will the following week, is Warzone 2. That will be a fun one.
Ooh.
So. Ooh, and then, of course, they have that new DMZ zone, which is a Tarkov-like game. Yeah. We'll see exactly how it works.
So Jordan, should I buy this then? First, isn't it $70?
Warzone's going to be free.
Yeah, but is the DMZ zone? Because
I'm pretty sure that's going to be free too. It's a part of Warzone.
Then I don't care.
Hey, wait, who's going to get Mountain Blade with me? By the way,
I'll get it.
Is it $50?
I think it's 39. Actually, I think I might have picked it up for 39.
I mean, if it means I get to play video games with you, David, I will spend $40.
Do it.
Because usually when we get you on, you're like, I just decided to play this game instead, guys. Sorry. It's like, oh,
I mean, I'm on Disney Dreamlight Valley. Like,
yeah, Dreamlight
like
Valley
a
is
boss.
the most badass game I've ever played.
Like, it's so good, everyone. And it doesn't have UI problems.
Michael Bay, take notes.
There's no UI problems. Not over there. Everybody, I think that does us for this week. I apologize that we've had 2 weeks in a row remote, but we'll be back next week. Actually, next week. Oh, are you guys ready for this? I am a single father next week.
Yes, I've heard.
Wait, what? What's going on?
Yeah, so next week when we record this,
Are you losing? What? Is this show just gotten really dark? Like,
my wife is leaving me.
yeah, what? Just what?
His name is Javier.
Wait, she's leaving you for Javier, or you are leaving her for Javier?
No, she's going out of the country for a week.
Oh,
and so
wait, so you have by yourself?
My mother-in-law will be here, but that kind of makes it worse because that means I have to put
Clean
on my show and dance. Have to be on. Oh
wait, because she's gonna be watching the kids, or
yeah. But
I gotcha.
So I got to be extra helpful. Not that I'm not helpful already. Let me clarify. But
gotcha.
Anyway, so next week's podcast we're gonna have to do late.
Okay.
If that's okay. So late Friday night.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Cool. And we'll be
Good
in
to
person.
know.
Hopefully, no one else gets sick. Spicy was sick last week. Jordan's sick this week. No one else gets sick.
Well, you're the one who's been traveling, so you're up.
I do have a sore throat, but that might be from Jordan.
Yeah.
Can you read T-Bucks's chat right now? That's fantastic. David picked up Javier when he was dressed as the Little Mermaid.
Can we throw that up one more time?
David picked up Javier when he was dressed as the Little Mermaid.
When he was dressed as Ariel. Hold on, let's bring that up just for anybody who missed it. If you're listening,
That's how we'll close the show.
Yeah, I love how it was a family activity to make your seashells for your chesticles.
That's the only way. That's how you dominate. You gotta. You win together, you lose together. Okay.
Well, and you won. You won the contest.
Yeah, we won, baby. We won. Here we go, everybody. For those of you that don't,
what was your fin like?
Come on over. I had no fin. This you got to realize this is remote. So this is from.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
When I went, we had like an in-person event. I went as a Scottish kilt man, but this was for the competition.
Yeah.
This was Ariel.
Are you going to get like emails from the HR department on Monday? Like, there are a few people that were uncomfortable with the seashells in the Halloween meeting on Friday.
They're just taped on, by the way, and I kept having to like.
those are technically like pasties, then, huh? Those are
I would
great.
like to point out though. Look at that alabaster skin, with that red hair. I am.
Yeah.
Damn.
You've made it, David. You've made it in life. That's a great shot.
If I wanted to be a woman, I could be a woman. Okay.
You'd pull it off.
Yes.
Of us three, I think you would legitimately beat us all.
Don't tell yourself it couldn't happen, Spicy. I feel like with your curly hair there.
Yeah, like it's getting pretty good, huh?
I
could probably maybe dye it red like that.
Yeah,
that Kool-Aid red.
Why not? Why not? I was gonna say something. Shit, I forgot.
Do you have an announcement or something?
No, I don't. I feel like there was something that I was going to say that needed to be said, and then I forgot. You threw me off.
Buy Mountain Blade or whatever the game.
Yeah, Mountain Blade 2, baby.
How's the UI in that game?
UI's I told you they went Destiny. Just go just go with the mouse. That's all you need to do. It works. It works really well.
Yeah, bet you they did vertical menus too.
You know what? I think didn't some EA games like Battlefront have a side scrolling for like the system that they didn't bring out because it was like pay to win, it was a pay to win model, but that was left to right. That was left to right.
I feel like Moses, when he received the 10 Commandments, received those in a vertical menu. Like
those were vertical.
It's the way to do it.
Vertical UI,
vertical menus
is of God.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Fitzy says $100. David still has the seashells on right now. That's hilarious. I actually left them at my hotel. in the trash can. Here you go, chambermaid.
Wait, so you
Yeah,
went to, hold on. You went to a hotel for a virtual Halloween?
No, I was
Contest?
traveling, so I was.
Hey, it makes sense to me.
All right, with that, we'll call it a night. Thank you very much for everybody for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out. We'll be back in person next week. It will be late on a Friday night, so but thank you for being here for us. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for all your support. We'll see you next week. Have a good one, everybody. Bye bye. I'm pressing end button. You're gonna hear